the Paranormal View. The Paranormal View on the Para X Radio Network. The Paranormal View.
Welcome, everybody, to the Paranormal View right here on the Para X Radio Network. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight, for those in the chat room, and for those listening from around the world. We appreciate each and every one of you. We got lots going on tonight, and I have with me Jeffrey Gould.
Hello, hello.
And Kat Cloco.
Good evening, everyone.
And we're going to have a wonderful guest tonight, and we're going to let Mr. Jeffrey introduce him.
Yes.
And I know Kat probably got stuff ready too, but since Jeff's here, we'll let him do it.
Yeah, originally I had a student film scheduled for today, and then it got pushed to tomorrow. So I was like, "Yay! I don't miss any of the show."
So, I know we got some things coming up, and we'll touch more on them toward the end of the show. But I just want to let everybody know that next week, Kat and I will be live at the Bell Nursing Home in Kim Bolton, Ohio. We'll be doing the show live from there.
You see, Henry, I never thought you were old enough to really have to commit yourself like that. Oh, wait. No, it's just...
You don't really know me, do you?
I guess not. Jeez, I've got a cat going up my leg. Come here.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's
no, I was about to say.
No, I've got two kittens in here, Puka and Sprite.
Oh.
So.
Well, why don't you go ahead and run through the big introduction, and we'll get started with the show. Jeffrey, who did I lose?
I don't know. Would you like me to read the introduction?
It says there's a problem with the call, so you go ahead and read the introduction then.
Okay, well, tonight's guest is Phil Summers, and Phil is a paranormal investigator hailing from Charleston, South Carolina, one of America's most haunted cities. He accomplished his first paranormal investigation as a youngster with only a tape recorder capturing an EVP, which sparked his interest in the field. Yay, Jeff is back. Sorry?
Go right ahead.
I'm in the middle of this.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, over Phil's paranormal career, he has learned all aspects of being in the paranormal investigation team, including EVP specialist, tech manager, and case manager, handling all forms of paranormal phenomena. He is most widely known for his talents with the Spirit Box, investigating with the paranormal groups and members of Ghost Hunters International, and I believe also Ghost Adventures. Phil's goal in the paranormal field is to learn as much as possible and educate new people in the field of paranormal research. So everyone put your hands together for Phil Summers. Yay!
Way to go. And I hope Phil's still with us.
I sure am with you. Just to clear things up, I never investigated with Ghost Adventures. I just hung out with them for a little tiny bit before an investigation.
Well, that's an adventure. That's an adventure in itself.
Yes, it was, and I found out that those guys were really, really nice guys. Everybody gives them crap, but they are really, really nice guys.
Well, they do it for the show.
Yes, sir, they do.
Yeah, and that's just entertainment, so they probably are real nice guys. I don't know if I've ever met them. Well, I have seen them once or twice, like down at Scarefest. But I've never actually met them and talked with them and stuff. So,
yeah, neither have I. I do know Jeff Belanger, though.
Yes. Jeff. Me and him, we've actually talked a couple times before in the past, and we got acquainted with each other. So, yes, me and Jeff are acquainted, I'd say.
Yeah, Jeff's been on the show here a few times too. So. That is good. He's a funny guy. Really funny.
Never really got to hear Jeff's views on the paranormal or anything like that, but we have talked about the show and talked on the phone before.
Well, I want to remind everybody that if you do have questions for Phil, you can private chat them to Kat, Jeffrey, or myself, and we'll get those right over to Phil. Or
Yep.
if you're brave enough, you can private chat him. But let's find out a little bit about Phil before we actually get
Sure.
started. How did you get started into the paranormal?
Well, it all started when I was young, and like I said, I had a tape recorder, and I used to watch all the shows as far as Ghost Hunters, and also A Haunting was on TV, but that time.
Is that the
And
haunt? Was that the dramatization of the book?
yes,
Oh.
no, that was the TV show on Discovery Channel.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh.
Yes, sir. And I actually went out and investigated on my own out of curiosity. And all I had with me was a tape recorder that the kid from Home Alone used to scare those bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Walkman. I can't remember the name and the numbers or the jargon with that, but it was the Walkman. I still have it with me. I haven't used it in a long time.
And
But
that used like mini cassette tapes.
right,
Yeah.
right. And I've kind of switched over to digital voice recorders, like you said, just for the convenience of the matter. But I captured my first DVP with a the tape recorder, and it was the scariest thing that I've ever heard in my life to this day. And I tell you, I mean, it just freaked me out, and it just sparked my interest.
What did it say? Do you remember?
I was gonna
Do you
say.
still have it?
Yes, yes, it's actually on YouTube. I got it kind of under a different name. If you look up EVP from Hell, you'd hear it, and if you hear it, it sounds like a bunch of people screaming and something, and you could hear singled out screams and all that good stuff. Um,
Where
and
did you get
also-
it?
Yeah, I got it. When I was smaller, I used to break into cemeteries and stuff like that. I'm not proud of it, but that's the only way you could get around and investigate back when I was younger and starting out and learning the field and all that stuff. Because I mean, Charleston is such a very, very protected place when it comes to the paranormal, and that's why it became national. As a matter of fact, that's why I started investigating everywhere, and that's how people started knowing me. By the way, just a random fact. But the it was in a cemetery outside of my old neighborhood, and they closed the gates now. I guess for a very good reason.
Yeah.
They used to keep them open. They used to keep the gates open, but now they're like closed, like during nighttime and stuff.
Yeah,
now.
they're probably only open from dawn to dusk.
Yeah.
So, quick question, because you've been able to investigate around the United States probably more
Right.
than I don't know about Henry, but I've stayed mostly in the Midwest. Would you say what is the difference between being a paranormal investigator in the South versus any other area of the country?
Oh, good question. The paranormal in the South, you have a lot of battlefields and history and a lot of history connected with the paranormal. But
Mhm.
anywhere out west, you're looking at a totally different angle of the paranormal. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
A little bit. You don't have as much history to go off of.
Right. You don't have as much history to go off of, and that's why I love. I hate other aspects about Charleston, South Carolina, and the South, but I mean, one thing I love is the history that deals with the paranormal
Okay.
and just the history in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, we have a lot of few battlefields here in Cincinnati, but we have the Chillicothe, we have the Serpent Mounds, which are fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. The serpent mounds. I've always actually wanted to see the serpent mounds.
I haven't yet, but Haven't gotten myself out there, but I hear there's a
I'm
lot
totally
of
gonna do it.
interesting shadows and light play that happens that people have caught.
Wow.
You want to know? I actually live. My house is right on a battlefield, like right on a Revolutionary War battlefield. I'm not gonna say the name of the neighborhood,
That's fine.
but I do live on a Revolutionary War battlefield. I never really see any type of paranormal activity. I've seen something weird once, but I kind of questioned what I saw.
Hmm.
But we have a cannon marked where a famous president's brother died right at the battle scene. So, like I said, the history of South Carolina and the South in general is just awesome.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
like to get down there more often. Anyway, Henry,
yes.
what do you have for him for
Yeah.
Phil tonight?
I want to see if Jeff's back. Are you back, Jeff?
Yes, I came back. Skype is just being a jerk tonight,
Yeah, I kind of seemed that way too.
more than usual.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you was back. I noticed they was typing in the chat room something about you had something that you was supposed to say or something.
No, I had
story?
done up my introduction. I just had kind of a quirky little ending to it. I thought was funny, and it's
Well,
just lays there now.
Oh, dude, let me hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love funny stuff.
I had ended with I gotta go up to it. At the end of the bit, I pointed out Phil. Oh, now I have to break it down again because
Yeah.
the way I read it. Hang on. Sorry, I'm an actor. I gotta say it right. So essentially, that would have introduced you at the end of which, after all the other stuff, I say Phil has been featured revealing captivating paranormal evidence on the Bio channel, which is actually the biography channel, not to be confused with the Biology channel, which is mostly just 50 Shades of Grey's Anatomy. And previously having been on guests on many radio shows, Phil is mostly rehearsing to be a guest here tonight on the Paranormal View. So welcome, Phil Summers. And that's what I would have said.
And my whole goal tonight is to not say like, or you know.
Ah, yes.
Oh, good luck with that. Wait till you hear some of Henry's.
Oh, that's right. Pull me
Language
into
use.
it.
I got a funny story about that, but that's for off air.
Well, now we know that you're from Charleston, and which is a very haunted place. What are some of the more notable haunted places in Charleston?
Well, we have the Old City Jail, and we have the Battery Carriage Inn, and those are the only two places that actively promote any type of haunted. And they don't even really promote any type of ghosts. They promote haunted history, but they don't want to say, "Oh, paranormal investigators are allowed here." That's the thing about Charleston, South Carolina. They like to promote a lot of haunted history. I guess that's why Charleston, South Carolina didn't make #1 on any list. We made like number 6 on all the lists of the most haunted blah 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 of this.
Unlike Atlanta, Georgia, or New Orleans, which are constantly vying for 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, now, have you got privately investigated any of those places?
Yes, I have, and there's a reason why I don't really mess with private investigations too much anymore, because a lot of the people here in South Carolina or Charleston in particular, I've been kind of like wielded into investigating their house for some type of, they want their place to be these individuals wanted their house to be like a bed and breakfast, like a haunted bed and breakfast.
Right.
And since Charleston doesn't want to promote any type of ghost or hauntings or anything like that anyway, like I just totally forgot about paranormal investigating private locations. But I do help out people that do have problems everywhere. Like if they message me on Facebook or something like that, I will contact them to somebody who does do private
Who
investigations.
does those? Right.
So South Carolina is one of those states where it's almost taboo to they kind of acknowledge the existence of the paranormal, but it's not something they want to talk about out loud.
Right. I call it the belt clip of the Bible Belt. We are called the Holy City. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
Yes, and we are called the Holy City, and and a lot of people try to keep that and keep that reputation about Charleston, South Carolina. And I don't want to sit here and represent Charleston, South Carolina on like I said, views and opinions expressed on this.
Right.
But I don't want to sit there and express my opinions or views and say that they're everybody else's opinions in Charleston, South Carolina. That's just my observation that I've seen.
Right. We had a question from the chat room asking, is South Carolina still voodoo country?
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of voodoo going on. So does Savannah, Georgia, on down to South Carolina, on down to the Georgia area. We still have a lot of voodoo going on, and if you go around Charleston, South Carolina, you'll see the that specific type of blue that people paint on the outside of their doors to keep the spirits out. And
sure. What color blue is that? Deeper? Lighter?
It's like a sky blue.
Oh wow!
It almost looks like the blue on a Para X network.
The chat room. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like that kind of blue to be, but a little lighter.
Wow.
Almost like a pastel.
Right.
Right.
Right. I'm colorblind. Like I'm half colorblind anyway, so I can't really tell, the different shades of the different color spectrums, but I can tell what's blue, what's more red, and.
Well, a little funny note on blue doors. So my family's originally from northern Ohio, almost to the border of Pennsylvania, where there's a lot of Swedes. And if you paint your door blue, that means you have a daughter that's marrying age in your household.
Woohoo!
Really?
So that's an interesting little difference on region of what blue doors represent.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That certainly saves on the classified ads, I guess.
Yeah, really, right?
Your daughter in classified ads.
Well, maybe not the but going on single sites, Craigslist. There you go.
Okay.
Quick story about voodoo. I actually came across an abandoned cemetery. I was actually in Savannah, Georgia, a couple months ago, and I investigated with a well-known storyteller down there, and we actually came across this cemetery that he's never seen before. He didn't even realize it was there. It was abandoned and it was overgrown. And we went in that cemetery, and I tell you, I got video of what we saw. There was 5 chickens laying in a pentagram shape with bottles of water in a circle, and the chickens were dead, or they were all there were flies around them. It smelled like they were there for like a week, and the bones and everything was poking out and everything.
This may sound silly, but were there any pennies or caramel on the ground?
I didn't see any pennies. If I did see them, I would have picked the pennies up, because I always say pick a penny up for good luck.
Well,
I would have done it with gloves and face mask, but
Yeah, because those chickens were well on their way to decomposition.
yeah, pick a penny up for good luck. That's what I always say. I always try to look for the most good luck I possibly can.
Well, the thing is years ago when I did animal control back in New Jersey, we occasionally got calls for headless chickens that were either like some just discarded at the railroad tracks, but one was oddly enough very close to where I lived in a little park, and I went over there and the cops were like, "Oh, it's Satan worship or something." I'm like, "No, look at it," and I pointed out that that the chickens hadn't been actually killed at the time. The bags of the poultry market for which they were purchased were laying on the ground nearby. They were wet, so clearly they had been packed in ice. But I noticed there were a lot of pennies and caramel on the ground, so I figured that it was much more Santeria than either voodoo or Satanism.
You want to know what? Come to think of it, at a location where it was well known that there was voodoo practice going on there,
Uh-huh.
I've actually found a few pennies lying around, and they were really, really old pennies, like some from 1911, 1932, 1967, dates like that.
Yeah. Those are all offerings to deity.
Yeah, I wouldn't really want to pick them up.
Yes, I did not pick up any of the pennies. I told the cops, I said, you might want to leave those there.
Right.
And they were like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, you don't want to be picking those up. 'Cause you don't know what spell or ritual was being done."
Yeah, I've actually got like a lot of stuff from this place. Come to think about it, I got a marble that I found there, like a glass marble. I've got a penny. I've got a old, like one of the really, really, really old Budweiser beer bottles that I found at this place. The same location.
That probably wasn't. That was probably just trash.
Yeah, it's probably just trash, but I find interest in old stuff.
Well, now you might end up having to call John Zaffis here before long.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
one of the things that you did was you was in a segment of my ghost story on the Bio channel.
Right.
And if anybody wanted to see the segment that you was in, it's episode 8, part 3. Is if you get on YouTube, you can go there and find it.
Season 2.
Yeah,
Jinx.
season 2, season 2, episode 8, part 3. Because they've got it broke up into 3 parts.
Yep. And one of the stories that the story based around that was, there was a location that I did back then. I wasn't too familiar with any type of evil spell casting or any type of witchcraft or anything like that, as far as those types of cases were concerned. And I went into that case thinking, hey, what the hey, maybe I could handle it. And sure enough, it backfired on me. But out of that case, it actually ended up one of the best things that could have ever happened, because when I found out I was going to be going on my ghost story, I was actually on tour with a band. I was in the music industry, helping play with bands and filling in guitar, as well as doing merch sales and doing different things for bands. And I left the whole paranormal scene just because of that case, and I kind of blew up after that whole incident, because the band I was working for was Nonpoint, and a lot of people know that band, as well as many other bands that I toured with, but that's the main one that I was affiliated with. And I just blew up, and more people kept on asking me to do more things, and that's how we ended up here.
Well,
Right.
that's great.
It's like your moment of serendipity.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I look back on like the way I look at my life is like I look back on things that have happened to me in the past, and they all build up as one big or one small puzzle piece stacking on to a bigger puzzle set, if you know
Right.
what I mean. And
Yeah.
I could literally look at what's going on now and look at what's happening in the future based on past experiences. And I look back at history. I don't really I don't really um make the same mistakes anymore like I used to.
Oh, you're supposed to learn from them.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's what I did with this case, and that's what I've learned from it. And I just have grown from this case all around.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll take a break. And when we come back from break, we'll talk about uh, what exactly happened in the episode that you was in, how it come about, and all in depth about this. So, I think if anybody, while I'm thinking about it, has any questions, you can private chat Jeffrey or Kat or myself. And with questions, we'll get them right over to Phil. I want to remind everybody that's listening from around the world, if you're not here in the chat room, you can do so. Come over to para-x.com and join in the chat, and you'll be with all these wonderful people, and you can interact with us and the guest. So, I think we'll take about a 6-8 minute break, something like that. Give everybody a chance to get up and stretch your legs and go get something to drink or whatever. And we're going to let Kat take us out on a break. How does that sound?
That sounds like it will work
Sounds
fine.
like a plan.
So, you are listening to The Paranormal View with your hosts, Henry Foister, Jeffrey Gould, and myself, Kat Clogo. We'll be right back with tonight's guest, Phil Summers, on the Para X Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Paranormal View right here on the Para X Radio Network. Chat room is really filling up, and I want to thank them for being here, each and every one of you. I want to thank those that are listening from around the world. We appreciate all of you also. And if you're not here with us in the chat room, come on over, para-x.com, and join the chat room. A bunch of wonderful people in here. And you'll be able to interact with our guests by asking questions, and they have a great time in the chat room having fun. So, with that, I want to welcome back Phil Summers.
What's going on?
And we have Jeffrey. Are you back? Jeff? Apparently he's not.
Yeah, Skype is just. Oh no! Don't tell me you can't hear me.
I hear you.
No.
We can hear you, Jeff.
I hear you.
Don't
Oh.
worry.
We got you.
Sitting there thinking Skype is just playing April Fool's Day on me all day.
And we got Kat Cloco with us.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay. We was talking about Phil, or with Phil, about the segment that he was in with my ghost story. And I thought it was kind of fascinating, and I had a lot of questions about the thing. Where was this cemetery at that you went to?
Well, it was in a place in Georgia, north of Georgia, right on the North Carolina border, Blue Ridge, Georgia. And that place is very, very not populated.
Well,
Apart from the dead
Sparsely
people, apparently,
populated.
yeah.
Yes, sparsely populated for the lack of better words.
uh-huh.
And
I often find that on my dinner plate, sparsely, right off on the side. Oh wait,
yeah, this place would not be a place where you would think that paranormal activity actually happens, or any type of paranormal location. It's just like random little tiny cemetery out in the middle of nowhere, and you have to drive through like mountain trails and crap to get to it. And it's this church it's this what old wooden church was attached to it that the church pastor specifically requested actually not to show the church,
Right.
but was okay in the cemetery since it's a separate part of the church. And it was just weird. The whole vibe of this place, you could tell that there was something not right about it. And as soon as you get there, you feel that you're being watched by something. And little did I know, the first time that I actually went over there to that place, I was actually really being looked at by something. I don't know what it was, but the fact of the matter is, I know what the history is of that place, and and the history of that place is not good, and it connected with me for a little while until a woman, she requested her name not be involved in the episode of my ghost story, but a woman uh, removed whatever it was, and I haven't had anything go wrong since.
Well, now, what drew you to this particular cemetery?
You know, people ask me a lot what draws me to different places. I don't really think that I get drawn to places. I think the paranormal kind of gets drawn to me.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I'm not actually looking for places. Whenever I go to a location, it's because there's some specific reason where I feel like I'm being led to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, had there been reports of something paranormal going on there?
Yes, they actually have recorded a lot of paranormal occurrences at the church. A lot of the members were saying stuff about it, but the pastor, this is what I was told. I'm not too sure, but this is what I was told. The pastor was trying to keep it on a DL, but the church members were really concerned about it, and they didn't know what the specific problem was with this place until we found out what was going on there, and we found out what really what the real deal with that place was. And that's when, once we found out what the real deal was, that's when we got targeted. The same instance with the very first case that I ever went in, except on a different level.
Well, now,
Okay.
go ahead, Kat.
Oh, I was just going to request that you briefly describe the segment, or one of us briefly describe the segment for those in the listening audience that have not seen my ghost story.
Well, basically, the title of the My Ghost story is Hex from Beyond the Grave, and it's basically a story about a point in time in my life and the other parties or the other person's life where we were feeling like something was attached to us,
Mm-hmm.
both at the same time, and we feel that we got targeted, and that's basically what the story's about. It doesn't really have much of any type of paranormal evidence except one picture, because we really didn't mean for it to be any type of specific there there is paranormal activity here, we want you to go ghost hunt here and look for ghosts at this place. No, we didn't want it to be that. We just wanted it to be a location that we didn't want people to be going into, because we were telling them, hey, don't go in here. This place is messed up and you will get effed up if you go in. And that's basically what we were trying to tell. So that's why we really didn't have much evidence, and that's a good reason why the producer picked the story, I believe, because it was different than the others. You know, the other stories really have specific specific ghosts involved, not technically any type of religious affiliation of any type of witchcraft or voodoo or anything like that. I have seen there's always some type of specific ghost,
Right.
if you know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying.
they're ghost stories.
Yeah,
Right.
they're ghost stories.
They're,
Exactly
they're,
what
they're
they're meant to
personal
be.
experiences with
Yeah,
ghosts.
with ghosts. But this was a ghost on another level. If
Kind of like
with
more on a spiritual level.
not technically more on a spiritual level, because I kind of feel that ghosts and spirits are the same thing.
Right.
This was more on a psychological level as well.
Ah.
And ghosts and spirits are can be psychological as well, but when you're placed on a voodoo hex or some type of hex from something that does not exist on this earth to this to date, and it's a hex that's placed on a location, that's a documented hex that is placed on a location, that's where things just get crazy and way beyond any of my knowledge as far as that topic of the paranormal is concerned. I'm not saying demonology or anything like that.
Right.
I'm saying this was something on a physical religious level.
Right, because it involved what you believe was a witch, or what the
Right.
legends say was a
Right.
witch.
We believe at the time it was part of the legend.
Now, how long ago did this take place where you went there?
Oh, this is back in 2010.
2010. Okay.
Yeah,
And that
back 2 years ago.
the grave that you guys kind of like focused on, was that supposed to have been somebody who was proclaimed or purported to be a witch and she
Yeah,
was hung?
Actually, we kind of feel it was a male because we felt that it was a male presence uh, that was attached to us.
You can have male witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they had male witches back in the day, and this is
and
what
today.
really, and today, and that is what really also made this story unique on another level, is because of a reported male witch, and everybody thought that this witch was a female at first, but we found out otherwise.
Yeah, because I looked into it a little bit after watching the episode just to see what I could make of it, and it's an interesting mystery.
Yes, it still is a mystery to us, or to me at least. I don't know about her, but it really is a mystery to me. Still, I have a lot of unsolved questions that I actually, they're like questions that I prefer not to really answer on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to kind of leave them. These questions are left behind back in history for me to learn over my experiences.
Well, when you guys first got there and felt that everything was like that, you had cameras and recorders with you, and none of them
Oh,
would
yeah.
work.
At first they did, but then they started going out one by one. Like I said in the story, they started going out one by one. We had multiple cameras, and we, like the story said, we even used a cell phone. And to some people, the cell phone thing is a hidden joke, inside joke between a few people.
Right.
But really, I mean, we had video recorders, we had digital cameras, we had We even used her cell phone. That's when she made that sly comment, and that's when the cell phone happened. So the odds of that happening. That's what I look at when I look at these type of things. The odds of things happening,
Right.
and when the odds outnumber and outweigh reason, you just got to look at this and ask yourself what is really going on here.
Well, that was one of the questions that I had was she had laid her phone down and walked away a foot or so, and when she turned back around, her phone was gone.
Yeah,
Now,
I actually walked away the same time as well, and she thought that I'd taken it, and I swear to you, to this day, I was actually walking to the car to get something, and I turn around, she's looking for her cell phone, and it's nowhere to be found. We looked everywhere for this place. We even went back this place where we were actually, I say, stationed or staying. We were like 30, 45 minutes away from this place, and I really did not feel like going back looking for it, but we went back and looked for it. We called the cell phone companies and see if there was any type of ping coming from the cell phone service or any type of you know what I'm talking
Right.
about.
Yeah, triangulating them from
Right.
the
Yeah,
towers.
yeah, and they couldn't locate it
Well,
anywhere.
now, one of the first questions that I'd mentioned to my wife was, did you stop and think to take your phone and dial her number to see if it would ring?
Yes, we did. We did everything. We couldn't hear the phone. We couldn't.
Hmm.
I mean, we tried every possible route before
And she
we
didn't.
decided.
And she didn't have it on silent or anything.
No, she didn't have it on silence because she was talking business with other people before. We actually went to the location, and I'm pretty sure, as well as she was pretty sure, we didn't leave it on silent.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is accrue those interdimensional phone roaming charges. That's for sure.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Oh, where was this at? Where was this at?
I had somebody I knew who had a camera disappear from her apartment, and I just figured she had misplaced it or something, and it was really small. She had a huge chocolate lab. I joked he probably swallowed it. And then one day it simply appeared on her desk, pretty much on a coaster that I invariably used for my sodas when I was over there. So it's not like it suddenly the dog just brought it back, and I figured, oh, it's going to be this little camera, but no, it was in a big case. It was about the size of a softball. I'm like, okay, Champ wouldn't have done that, but yeah, it just popped back into reality apparently.
It fell.
there-
It fell into an alternative time.
Well, there were
Stream.
at least 2 to 3 entities in that apartment.
that
so-
was another thing about this location that made it weird is there was reports of time slips as well as the reason why she used the picture of the I say ghost cat. The reason why she used that picture was because there was reports of shape shifting going on as well.
You didn't have any
Reports of,
weeping angel statues around, did you? Oh wait.
no, actually, there was no weep. I didn't see weeping angel
Good. You
statues.
don't wanna be-
I got a picture. I got a picture of this place. I didn't see any weeping angel statues, and I could go back and look.
No, you don't.
No.
It's sort of a joke, but yeah, that's when you mentioned time slips in the cemetery. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to be seeing weeping angel statues.
Speaking
there-
of like weird things in cemeteries, they say that like obelisks, you know, those
Oh yeah,
Right.
those
Yeah.
elongated poles.
the Washington Monument is an
Yeah,
album.
Washington Monument looking statues.
Right.
That's, I've had a lot of psychics tell me that obelisks are like a beacon for me when it comes to attracting energy.
Well, it's one of those mystical geometric shapes that are used for as early as the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, did this take place totally in the daytime when you was doing this?
Oh yeah, it was during the daytime when we actually were there during the daytime. We were there for a long period of time, for the first like whenever we were there for looking for what's going on when we were taking the charcoal rubbings.
Right.
And when we came back, it was like morning time. So this all took place in the span of one day, but we got pictures of both like nighttime and daytime, and the storms didn't start coming in. The storms that we talked about in the actual episode, they started coming in when when um when I started using the ghost box. I never said this in the episode. This is for you people in the chat room and listening to this show. I never.
Yeah, we'll keep it all between ourselves.
Yeah, I never said anything about this, but the weather started up whenever I started using the ghost box on this place, and I was hearing like a like drums in the background, like do 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 do, like Indian sounding drums,
Yeah.
and like that kind of beat, like do 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 do.
Did you pick
like
that up?
And I did pick it up. I do have recordings of it, but I kind of keep it in private files
Right.
since this is a case that I kind of try to keep buried. But
Right.
but but I heard it sounded like a male and female singing, some chanting and drums in the background, and that's when the weather started turning just awful. And there's some trees above that were huge, and they had huge coconuts or coconut
Acorns.
sized walnut acorns.
Acorns. Yeah.
My bad, the bad description. They had huge acorns on these trees, and they were coming down hard, and we were being pelted, and the wind was just so happened to be blowing our direction where these acorns were falling on us. And the next day I actually had bruises from
Yep.
the acorns, and there's a branch that had actually fallen from one of the trees on one of my cameras. Actually, she was holding them. Actually, it was one of her cameras. She was holding the camera, and it they dropped it, and they and it the camera lens broke.
Ah,
That the wind was blowing so hard, and the weather started turning so bad on us in just like a span of 3 minutes. After I heard this chanting going on this on the ghost box, spirit box, shack hack, whatever, 12587, whatever you want to call it, and this and that's what really got me thinking, hey, this is some kind of something going on.
Well, now, she never did find her phone then, did she?
No, we never found that phone. It's missing to this day.
Well, now, did you get a chance when you guys first started, before your batteries and stuff started dying, to use a EMF meter or anything like that?
We didn't. We were just using video. That's weird that you asked, because we didn't actually use any type of EMF readings, or I believe we had a K2 meter, but that was just to check and see what the EMF fluctuations were around with the place, to see if there were any type of magnetic changes around. And there was nothing going on. There was no power to that place. This place is out in the middle of nowhere, and there's very little radio frequencies reaching out to this place. This location is in the middle of
Out in the middle of nowhere.
mountains, right? And anything that we were to hear over the shack hack was nothing but straight white noise.
Wow.
And the voices that we heard was specifically from that pinpointed area. I'm pretty sure of it.
Kat, you said that you had some info on this place. Have you guys or have you ever been back to this place again, or you just kind
Yeah.
of because of the type of activity that you had there, you don't want nothing to do with it anymore?
Well, the only time I ever went back is to film my ghost story, and that the only reason why I did that was because I was wanting to portray a message of don't ever go into this place. I'm warning you. Don't do, I mean, even
Stay
though
out.
people they would sit there and want to go into this place when you're not warned or when you're warning them not to, just out of curiosity and
Well,
but
yeah, you tell people to
yeah, not
to
do
go into a
something.
certain cemetery. It's like trying to scare ants from a picnic by pouring sugar on the ground.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're just trying to do the right thing from a non-physical point of view, and that's the only reason why I did my ghost story. And the fact that I don't really feel that paranormal TV is a bad thing, and that it's evil. And I'm not really one of those what I call holy roller paranormal investigators where they focus on one specific aspect of the paranormal and it being private cases.
Right.
I kind of navigate around the paranormal in general now, and that's why I did my ghost story. Plus, plus, it's public, publicized or publication.
When you went back to film the segment for my ghost story, did the area still feel creepy the same
Oh
way?
yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, I actually we there was 5 people in that cemetery. There was a friend that she had brought along. There was a film producer, Steve Bowler, as well. I don't know if he does it anymore for my ghost story. And there, and I had brought a friend along, and we all were hearing this. As a matter of fact, I told the story in L.A. of the following that was going on while I was on tour, but they didn't add that as well. And I actually heard the same voice when I was on tour in Ohio. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, or no, Union City, Ohio, and we were going to Cleveland to play at Peabody's, and and we were in Union City Cemetery. Have you ever heard of that cemetery?
No.
Yes, in
Cat,
Which
passing.
Cat, yeah, you have. And there's a hotel that was right next to that cemetery, and we stayed in that hotel. We didn't go, and we didn't go in the cemetery because we were dead tired and we didn't feel like going anywhere. So we either stayed in the hotel or the tour bus. And in the tour bus, I actually heard the same voice at the location that 4 other people heard. And that's at the point when I knew what we were what we were involving. And just so happened that the lady that the other girl brought was a kind of, she fixed that sort of stuff. She was an expert on that type of thing, and I think she had brought that woman along for a reason. As a matter of fact, I know she did, to remove whatever it was that was there, and she did. And psychologically, it has worked, and there's nothing that has, as far as that location has been going on.
Well, that's
After
interesting.
that day, we went. After that day, we filmed for my ghost story.
Well, something the first time you was there, you say something followed you home. I know in the video,
Well,
it showed
as far
something
as
followed her.
following anything, this is physical science. The law of attraction. Light energy attracts like energy,
Right.
right? So whatever was there apparently attracted to both of us.
Hmm.
And that's what I believe went down. And psychologically, knowing what went down as far as the location was concerned, we at the time figured it was a voodoo curse or it was a curse.
Right. Hmm. That could have been.
Well, that would have been a very good um, estimate of what it was, given the actual history of the land.
See, that's all of any type of curse is. It's nothing but a psychological trick.
Right.
And that's one thing that I learned growing from this case is any type of ritualistic mannerisms, they're nothing but psychological tricks.
Did you ever see the movie Skeleton Key?
As a matter of fact, that's funny that you ask. Yes, I have, and that's super funny that you ask about Skeleton Key because
hilarious.
I got some things in the works right now, Jeff. That if you were to hear about it, you'd be like, you'd drop your jaw. And I think you being an actor, you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Skeleton Key.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, do you mean story-wise, or are you writing a fiction film or something, or something I can be in? Or?
Not anything as far as fiction or anything, but I'll tell you about it later, Jeff.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can't talk about it publicly.
Rightfully so, yes. But I've done recreation stuff. I was in a documentary that was on. Okay, keep an eye out in early July, like on the 4th, on Discovery or the Learning Channel or the History Channel, because every so often this documentary I worked on pops up called Statue of Liberty: The Building of a Colossus, and I recreated Renard Edouard de Boulet, who was the guy who financed the creation of the Statue of Liberty.
Ping
You know
Pong
what's creepy?
Productions.
I've seen that.
Already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was like made years ago, but yeah.
I
it
know.
pops.
I watch documentaries all the time, so
Was
now I'm
this-
going to have to rewatch it and look for you.
Was
Yeah, I'm
this,
wearing the black outfit.
Jeff, was this production involved with Ping Pong production?
No, it was like, what was it? Dark Morning Entertainment, something like that. I
Dark
forget
Morning,
offhand.
I know what you're talking about. I asked that question for a reason because I try to find connected dots with things, or I try to connect the dots with things, and I just wanted to ask you first, or I'll tell you. Like I said, I'll tell you, Jeff, what's going on off air.
Okay.
Right. That sounds
Make sh-
interesting. Now, Kat, you said you did some research. Before you did that, and I don't know if it was something else that I'd seen or if it was at the beginning of this. Did they say that there had been a Civil War battle there?
Not quite.
Oh,
At
okay.
the location my ghost story was filmed.
No, at the cemetery there.
No, there was no battles.
There
that
hadn't
were
been a
filmed
battle there. Okay.
It's just a hanging of a witch that put a curse on the town.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Would you like me to go into some of the legends
Yeah,
associated with the
us a little bit
cemetery?
before we
So-
take another break. How's that sound?
So after the break?
No, do it now before we take a break.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, as many of the listeners know, I'm a cultural anthropologist, and when I watched this particular episode, my little radar went off, and I was like, I want to know more about this place. So I did a little bit of nosing around, like little anthropologists do. And this is, I will say, visit this place with respect because it is an active cemetery and an active Baptist church that does get vandalized from once in a while, and keep that in mind. So The location of this place was the Tilly Bend settlement, and technically we're in Tilly Bend Church Cemetery. And it's very interesting with the involvement of hearing the drums about from the spirit box that you mentioned, Phil. I don't
Right.
know how much of the history you know about.
I don't know anything about that
Okay.
history. I went in not knowing anything.
Okay. So Tilly Bend is actually situated in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Appalachia. And this area is home to the Creek Indians, or was home to the Creek Indians until the Cherokee Nation drove them out. What's interesting is that there's still a lot of Native American stuff going on around there, and the fact that you caught spirit drums being played is infinitely interesting to me, because the woman who is said to be the witch, Elizabeth Bradley, was known as a creek witch or a hedge witch, which was an Appalachian term for a medicine woman. But the fact that there were Creek Indians that also lived in the area is pointing to the fact that the woman most likely was of Creek Indian heritage and worked as a medicine woman. Medicine women, for people who may not know, knew a lot about the herbs and how to heal people, but also were great at psychological warfare in some cases.
Well, all women are great at psychological
Yes,
warfare.
but these are particularly well-practiced women. So Elizabeth Bradley is the woman we're looking in question, and she reportedly died around 1906 from the cemetery records that I could find. And she had one daughter named Mary, the other daughter's name I could not find. Now, in this particular settlement area, there was actually two major families. We have the Stanley family that actually resided in the Stanley Gap area of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And then we have the Tilly family, who this settlement is named after. And like the Hatfields and McCoys, these two families constantly fought. And this is probably the reference to battles that you get, because these families kept in a cycle of revenge, killing off other family members. The Stanley family, it is said, now this is folklore, came in and gunned down members of the Tilly family in the Tilly church that's supposed to be on the area while they were in church one day in the early 20th century. That's a legend. It can't be verified, of course. Neither can the hanging or burning of Elizabeth Bradley. That can't be verified. But we do know she passed away, and we do know her headstone faces to the west, unlike all the other headstones that face to the east. That may be actually a nod to her heritage, not necessarily the fact that she was a witch, but we don't know. Interesting urban legends. It is said, and this is from residents of Georgia, her name is known as Polly Long instead of Elizabeth Bradley. And if you run around the church 3 times, the witch's ghost will appear and chase you. Also, I love urban legends. Also, Elizabeth Bradley's ghost has been seen multiple times, most of the time standing near her grave or near the oak tree at the top of the hill, and she just stares, watching the people who are entering the cemetery. Most of the reports of seeing her have been during the daytime, not at night, which is really interesting. Let's see. The church was dedicated in 1858. Most of the old headstones are actually field stones. And, the reason why we have the curse on the land. Elizabeth had 2 daughters. One was Mary. Like I said, I couldn't find the other girl's name. They married into the Tilly and one into the Stanley families. And through events between the feuding, both daughters ended up passing away because of the feud. Elizabeth is said to have hexed the entire land, all settlements, to say every single baby born into that family in that area was going to die within its first year. What's interesting about that particular cemetery is there's a large child's grave section. And a lot of people speculate that that's why she was killed prematurely. Also, she had a sister-in-law. Elizabeth had a sister-in-law. who was also accused of being a witch and killed exactly a year later by hanging by the same settlement members who hung Elizabeth. And that is a very short
Short version.
history on that area.
Wait
Well-
till she gets into detail. Oh, wait.
Sorry.
Well, I think what we're going to do now is take another break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Phil about the kind of equipment he uses, such as the spirit boxes and all the other good stuff. So, Jeffrey, you want to
Yes.
take us out for another quickie break?
Yep. Well, you're listening to the Paranormal View on para-x.com with hosts Henry Foister, Cax Loco, and occasionally with Skype Lets Me, myself, Jeffrey Gould, with tonight's guest, paranormal investigator Phil Summers. So stay tuned, or Peter Graves will just start calling you over and over to point out endlessly that he's Peter Graves for biography.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Paranormal View right here on the Para-X Radio Network. And if you're listening from somewhere around the world and you're not in here with us, come on over to para-x.com and join the chat room. You'll have a great time in there. You'll also be able to interact with us, asking questions of the guest, and all these people are really nice and friendly. So come on over and join us. I do want to thank those tonight listening from around the world. We have listeners from the U.S., the UK, and Ireland tonight. So welcome, everybody, to the Paranormal View. Now, I want to welcome back Jeffrey.
Hello.
And Kat.
I'm actually on.
Hello.
And Phil.
Yo, yo.
Ah, he's there too. All right, we're good to go then. All right. Now, I know there's lots of other things we're going to talk about, and I'm sure Kat is chomping at the bits, and because I know she's got a lot of questions. Jeffrey, you probably got a lot too. Do we have any from the chat?
Mine are
room?
just wondering whether or not I can find who owns Skype and smack them.
I would suggest Googling that. Google probably owns it.
No,
That's probably wouldn't be surprised.
from what I understand, Windows.
Yeah.
Oh, just Windows?
Yeah, they own it now.
No,
Microsoft?
Google owns Google Plus now.
Oh,
They don't own Skype. What am I thinking?
Well, I know that Yahoo is sort of like paired up with Amazon because they're they're the ones that produced the short I worked on with years ago. Yeah.
Developer Microsoft Skype division.
There you go.
yep.
See,
Microsoft.
that's
Microsoft
Kat and
owns
her
it.
googling, her googling abilities
Yeah.
and her knowledge of.
It's sort
How
of
to
being
look up
jokingly rhetorical, but that's just
information.
me.
Yeah,
I'm so
Microsoft.
sorry, guys, but I
Microsoft-
apparently have earned the move-keeping seal of approval.
I think that Microsoft.
She's
bought
just
it
beefing
last
up your
year.
resume.
Woo! Anyway,
So
yeah.
Kat, well, let's talk about some of the equipment that you use when you go out to investigate now.
Well, really, I don't use a lot of equipment. All I really use is a laser grid for shadow detection.
Those are
And,
great. I love those.
The ghost box, spirit box. I don't like calling it one specific thing because everybody calls it different names. But ghost box, spirit box, shack hack, whatever you want to call it, use that a lot. Mainly, I use my five senses now, and the digital voice recorder, of course, and your regular standard 1080p cameras. But I have gone and investigated around the nation, investigating with different physics professors and a bunch of inventors and stuff like that. And we've come across some pretty interesting things in my path in the past.
Yeah, who have you investigated with? Because I saw that and I was curious.
Well, I mean, I've investigated with cast members of Paranormal State, Ghost Hunters International. I've investigated with, different inventors. Uh, Barry Doyle out of Phoenix being one of them. He's gonna be featured on a show here soon. Can't really say anything about it, but he's gonna be featured on a show here soon. You will know his name. I've investigated with I've investigated with so many people. I've investigated so many locations. There, it's just impossible for me to remember them all.
Mm-hmm.
I've been all around the country because of the touring aspect of things, of me being in the band, and I've investigated a lot of different places. Uh-oh, and I'm getting a phone call.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, I've investigated a lot of different places around the United States, one spot in Canada. I mean, just impossible to remember them all. But my favorite places that I've ever been to that I remember the most is the Lizzie Borden Axe Murder House, um,
Ooh.
the Globe County Jail, the Rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and those are just a few names of places I remember the most in investigating. Lizzie Borden, is just unforgettable because I always had dreams about the Lizzie Borden axe murder house and what happened there.
You don't
So,
you don't dream about getting axed, do you?
Um, Actually, I don't dream getting axed. Like I dream like the incident of what
Of what
happened there.
happened? Ah.
Yes, and literally like I have been having really bad nightmares after this place, and I don't know. I mean, nothing really followed me. It's just I think there's a lot of just like the my ghost story episode. There's a lot of unsolved questions that I need to go back and look for
Try and
with
find
this Lizzie
answers.
Borden place because the Lizzie Borden axe murder house. It's unsolved. There's so much speculation of what's going on, but I think I have the answer. I don't want to. Again, I don't want to say what my explanation is on air, but if any of the members in the chat room have any questions of what I think about that, or you guys, just message me on Facebook and I'll tell you what I think.
so I've never been to the Fall River, Massachusetts house that Lizzie Borden killed, apparently killed her family in. Maybe. We believe so. What were your experiences there, and when were you there?
Um, actually, this is a funny story. Like, I never really experienced anything. I was there for an extended period of time. Like, whenever I go investigate, I don't go for one night. I go for weeks, week, 2 weeks at the
Mm-hmm.
most. And I spent a week at this place, and I didn't have anything that physically happened to me. But the first night, I was sleeping in the room where Abby Bourne got chopped up by Lizzie, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever was suspected of chopping
Mom,
whoever it was there. Yeah,
mom and dad.
yeah, mom and dad. I actually was laying in bed, and Leanne keeps these sheets and covers tight and tucked as a. At, they're so tight you can't move into bed. And I was this. As a matter of fact, there's a demonologist that was traveling with me by the name of Joe Andrew. I don't know if you ever heard of that guy. He actually stayed with me the first night, but he had left after 3:30 or so, and this incident happened at around 4 o'clock in the morning. And I sleep when I sleep with two pillows. One I sleep on top of a pillow, and I sleep with a pillow on my other ear so I don't hear things like I'd say paranormal things or any type of noises because I have really sensitive hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't see what went on, but I felt it, and I felt the right hand of or the right bottom side of the bed sheet, the main cover of it fold over on its own. And this is after I had put my camera up. This is after I had cleaned up a lot of stuff because uh, at the Lizzie Bornack's murder house, if you stay multiple nights, you have to you have to leave during the day so they could do the tours. And so I had everything packed up to leave during that day and explore Fall River and all that good stuff. And and after I had everything packed, I felt the right bottom side of the bed cover, the bedspread, fold over on its own, literally lift up and fold over. I didn't, like I said, I didn't see it, but I felt it. And when it happened, I didn't know I was going to sleep. Like I was halfway in dream state and not really getting like I was getting to the point of relaxation. Are you there? I don't hear you.
Oh yeah, we're here. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I
good.
was
We're just listening to you.
I
And
was getting to the point of relaxation. I was listening to a point of relaxation, and this is when it
Oh, it was
happened.
self hypnosis time then.
And I felt no, it wasn't self hypnosis. It was actually.
No, I thought you were
being
referring to while you were telling the story, you were getting relaxed.
Uh, and uh, and uh, and when I was sleeping, this happened, and I felt I didn't know if I was feeling sick because like I was coming under sleep paralysis or what was going on, but as soon as I felt this, this is another joke and another story that's going around. I I was I only had my night clothes on, which is normally just my boxers because I'm a dude, right?
Right.
And
right.
and I got so scared. Well, I didn't get scared, but I got startled and caught off guard because I was almost sleeping and I felt this thing happening. And it was like in my head, I saw Abby Borden lifting those covers up, and it was so weird. I ran out of the room, and that was the only night that there were guests that were scheduled to stay. And one of those guests just so happened to be a National Enquirer reporter,
Ooh.
and they heard me, um, like the guests that were staying in that house heard me run out of the room, and they're like, "What happened? What's going on?" And I'm like halfway asleep and still, and I'm in my boxers, and I'm there's being pictures, snapping flashes and stuff like that. What's going on? Because they knew I was staying there, and they asked me.
I never have.
They asked me what went on the next morning, and I just told them, I got caught off guard. Being a paranormal investigator, that happens to us sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
and that night I got extremely caught off guard, and and it just really freaked me out. Leanne probably is mad at me about that. Not only that, she had the CNN there, and I had left my I had left a pair of my shoes under the bed during the daytime, and she's probably mad at me because I was a nuisance at a place like just I stayed there for an extended period of time. She probably got tired of me, But
Oh.
but but that experience and that place, I still feel to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different kind of feeling because I don't want to get rid of it. I want to find out more about
More
it.
about it, right?
Exactly, about what happened, and I think I have the answers of what happened in that place, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go look to find this piece of evidence that I think is still there
Mm-hmm.
at the house that was left by psychotic
Energy.
energy. Well,
Yeah.
no,
Um,
chick or dude or whoever you want to say did the murder.
Mm-hmm.
Not specifying anything over.
So we had some questions come up in the chat room.
Sure, bring them on.
One, yeah, and they come both from Patsy in the chat room, and she was wondering, did you talk about your first paranormal experience and your scariest paranormal experience while out in the field?
My first paranormal experience is that EVP that I captured with the demonic sounding voice. I mean, this thing doesn't sound human at all. My scariest moment I've ever had was the Lizzie Bourne Max Murder House. And I don't really talk about that much on air. And this is the first time I've really opened up about these types of topics on air. So,
Yeah, because you were waiting to be on our show.
that's right.
yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, it's Ghostbox Kid is your that username on YouTube, right? For
Yes,
that,
I don't use that name anymore because of
I just want to make sure I found the right video.
right, that one. I don't use that name anymore because of network stipulations and stuff like that.
Stupid
Uh,
network.
Yeah, network. It's the network's fault, and that's why I kind of stick with my name nowadays because
Right.
I decided not to go with any titles of different paranormal titles and ghost titles that people do nowadays. If I advertise myself of anything, it's Phil Summers. Is Phil Summers. I don't try to take on any characters.
I want to let everybody know that right after our show tonight, stay tuned for the Ghost Soldiers. They are going to be talking about the old Bedford Village in PA. So Doug has been there, and he's done reenactments, and he's going to be talking all about old Bedford Village and the reenactments that he does. So stay tuned for that.
I never investigated Pennsylvania, but I actually played in Allentown, Pennsylvania, at the Crocodile Rock, and that place is. I really want to go to some place in Pennsylvania. So if if Karen or anybody from the Ghost Soldiers want to hit me up, well, we'll do an investigation. I'll come up there one time.
All right. We was hoping to get a chance to get over toward Gettysburg and some places over there in Pennsylvania. Haven't been able to get anything set up. We'll be going to Hillview Manor. I believe it's October 20th, though. So we'll be there for that.
Yep.
Oh, the Wolf Manor. The Wolf Manor. And speaking of manors, the Wolf Manor in California is on my bucket list.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If you come out here and you come to LA and
I'm
you're
gonna
going
be
to
in
drive
LA
up.
next month.
Oh, well, I'm out here, right? I'm in Hollywood.
That's where Jeff's at.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had
Now-
no idea
now you
you
know.
were out in Hollywood.
Jeff is in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm gonna be at a.
Oh, that's
I'm
right. You're
gonna
going to
be-
StuCon, so you and I
Yeah.
will get to meet. We will actually
Exactly.
meet.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Now
Yeah.
I'm interested. What is this StuCon?
I don't know. So I don't
Scott
exactly
Grunwald.
know.
Scott Grunwald holds this little not tongue in cheek, but it's a paranormal conference. But his style of humor is very silly, and so he. Instead of charging an arm and a leg, it's like $2 to get in, and he constantly promotes it by saying, "For God's sake, don't come to this." And
it's anti-celebrity promoting.
Exactly.
And just like he's doing, I call it the Scott Grunwald effect, where you tell people not to do something, they automatically want to do it. I have literally named it the Scott Grunwald effect.
You mean reverse psychology?
Yes, reverse psychology. This guy is a master of it all. And as a matter of fact, I got a new show coming out on a network. It's not really a paranormal affiliated network. Brenda Whitehouse is in the chat room right now. She's a avid listener of the network, and I want to thank her for coming in the chat room while I'm at it. And anyway, this show is not going to be your average style paranormal show. It's going to be kind of like I stylized it kind of after Scott, and that's why I got Scott to be my first guest, as well as Howard Stern stylish type of show, but about the paranormal with other aspect of different celebrities, not just paranormal investigators.
Right.
Right. Kind of
So-
like how Ghostly Talk used to be. If anybody remembers that show.
I've actually listened to that show one time. Ghostly
Oh,
Talk.
I love Ghostly Talk.
Yeah,
I'm driving out of the dog park. This is a tangent.
Did I-
I'm sorry, everyone.
Did I say
found-
Did I say the name of the show?
Not your
No, I don't think so.
average
Yeah,
paranormal show.
not your everyday average paranormal radio show. It's a handful, but kind of named it that because of I was thinking, hey, that '70s show was a cool, funny show, so I decided to kind of stylize the name after that '70s show.
You wouldn't want me to try and pronounce it.
It's the acronym.
That's the way it goes.
Sometimes I can't even say the name of my own show right, so it's I'm
So-
constantly being
Not your average everyday.
not your see, now you got me messed up.
I'm sorry.
Your everyday average paranormal radio show.
It's where cue cards come in handy.
Uh-huh.
And
So
it's
you
gonna be
would
unscripted too.
Well, now,
I appers.
before our time kind of dwindles right on down, let's talk a little bit about what kind of a box do you use? I know, like you said, there's lots of different boxes. I have problems with the ones that sits there and clack, 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 you know.
Well, they all do. Well, they all kind of do that unless you get some type of a real-time EVP device like a sonophone or something like that, or some type of device like that. But these shack hacks, they're gonna click like that. That's why they're called a hack.
Right. Well, that's because they're switching channels the whole time.
Right.
Right. I understand that. But didn't they come out with a newer version that you don't hear the clacking as much, or it's more
That's the
undertone?
Frank's box, I believe. Yeah, that's the Frank's box, and it also with the Shack Hack, I believe this is what's going on with the Frank's box, but I know for a fact this is what's going on with the Shack Hack. When you scan backwards, the Shack Hack is still talking forwards, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
But the Frank's box, it scans backwards and upwards across the frequencies on a whole different range, and that's what makes the Frank's box different. I never used the Frank's box, but I think that's what the difference is with the Frank's box and shit. But I use a 12587, the original Bill Chappell Shack Hack.
Shack Hack. Yeah.
Wow.
And you get those at Radio Shack.
They you can't get them anymore because
Yeah, he
Radio
built
Shack.
them.
Yeah, you can't really get them in Radio Shack anymore because of these videos that people put out on YouTube and the fact that people are hacking them and reselling them.
Ah.
Mm.
Radio Shack caught on to it, and now they kind of made them a different way.
So you
So
can't hack them.
yeah, you can't hack them anymore. And also, I had to find that out the hard way. I had to find that out the hard way at an event, and the I was speaking at an event, and everybody bought a freaking hack shack and or shack hack, and when I got there and we were building them, the freaking shack hack was changed, and I'd never seen it like this the way it was before, and I literally told the people, I said, let me tell you something else, guys. This is a totally different story than the shack hack. When you're faced with a situation like this, don't ever try to bullcrap your way out of it. Just tell people what's up, and tell the God's honest truth, and tell them what you learned from your mistake. And that's what I learned. That's what I'm learning from all these past mistakes that has ever happened to me.
Oh, they tend to
Right.
kind of catch up with you.
Right. They tend to kind of catch up with you. So the best thing to do, not everybody's perfect. Just own up to your mistakes
And learn.
and learn from them,
Yep. And go from there.
and go from there. And that's
Well,
the
now,
mess I've been preaching.
when you're using your box, do you get pretty good evidence out of it?
Oh yeah, all the time. That's as a matter of fact. Here's an I'm opening up to a lot of things that I don't. Like I said, I'm opening up to a lot of things that I don't say on air. I get a lot of stuff. There is repercussions to using these types of equipment that draw spirit attention, and
Mm-mm.
when you're drawing attention to yourself, more and more and more and more and more spirits, or as I like to say, energies, are going to be connected to you.
Right.
Okay, so when you're using these things, y'all got to be aware that more activity is going to happen. You're gonna get psychically inclined more, or you're gonna get more prone to psychic activity. You're gonna get more prone to paranormal activity. You're gonna get more prone to anything in general that's paranormal. It's just gonna happen because that's the way this equipment is. When you're working with it, it
Right.
attaches to you. It's it deals along with the theory like energy attracts like energy. So it's gonna attract you no matter what. If you draw, and that's what I feel happened to me that first time when I ever investigated that cemetery when I was a little kid. I feel that I had drawn attention to myself by investigating the cemetery, by the supernatural, whatever this thing is that Jeff, you're gonna listen to this EVP, I know, after the show, and you're gonna agree with me that it's not anything human.
Oh
And
yeah, I've got it all
this
queued up. Wait, here.
and this thing is more on a supernatural level than anything. And I feel that I got targeted on a supernatural level than a paranormal. I think the paranormal is a totally different topic than the supernatural, and
Yeah.
it's a level above any type of paranormal activity you could ever think of, but it's connected. And I believe that when I captured this first EVP, I was targeted, and I'm still being targeted to this day. But in me being targeted, I've embraced the fact differently than most people that do get targeted by this stuff. I've I've learned to learn more from it instead of fear it. The base root of any type of fear is the unknown, and when you know more knowledge about something, that's when you start to gain power over it.
Right. That's true.
So I had a question with using the spirit box because I have one myself too. Um, have you gotten anything that would be considered a positive message?
Oh yeah, I actually did a spirit box. Again, off air, I will show you this piece of evidence, and it's my uncle, and he's telling me, in his voice, he's telling me what's up, intelligently telling me what's up on the other side, what's going down. He's telling me what he wants to tell my my family, what message he has that has stuck to this physical earth, and that was the most positive message I've gotten from anything as far as any type of spirit is concerned, and it was a confirmation to me that I'm doing the right thing, being a
Right.
paranormal investigator. It's when I'm a paranormal investigator, I'm not a weekend warrior. Most of the time, I do this stuff during a week
Right.
and weekend. This stuff is part of my life, and it's just something I've learned to embrace and something I've learned to grow from as a better person.
Have you done like Waverly Hills or places like that?
Most of the locations that I try to get involved in are off the wall locations that
Right.
don't really get publicized much. Only
Yeah.
for the fact because I like getting into virgin
Right.
locations. I love that
Ground
type
floor.
of. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love doing that type of thing. Getting into locations where I don't even watch paranormal TV. I don't even watch the shows that I didn't even watch My Ghost Story when it was on my TV. I don't watch my own episodes of anything.
Uh, well, now I think the place that we're going to be doing next weekend is fairly kind of uh, relatively new.
Yeah.
So I think they're just now starting to open it up to have people come in. So not too many groups have been in to investigate it. So that should be pretty interesting.
Yes, and I'm actually going to be going to one of my bucket lists. I got an event out in TA, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Insane Asylum, like we were talking
Trans
earlier.
Allegheny.
Yeah.
Yes, Trans-Allegheny.
Yeah.
And I got an event out there with Jody Parks. I'm affiliated with the Paranormal Hot Squad as being director of photography and an investigator, as well as Chris Collins from Contact Paranormal, Becca Schugert's got it from Resurrection LLC Entertainment is going to be coming out, and bringing some people from Texas, and we're just going to have a good time, and we're going to investigate this place, and I am so excited to be a part of this thing. You know, the people, also Chris Deadman is
Yep.
going to be.
I know Chris.
Ooh.
Yeah, Chris Deadman is going to be at this event too, and Justin Chase Mullins, and we're just gonna rock this place and go explore. I'm more interested in just looking at the place and looking at any paranormal activity.
Right.
When
Well,
I
there's
go
a
to
lot of history to those places, though.
Yeah, when I go to a lot of these places, I go to paranormal investigate, but like it turns out being that I'm so focused on looking at the site and looking at, I get so sidetracked with the history that I just sometimes forget to look for paranormal evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
that's how I sometimes gain my stories from my perspective of what I learned from the history,
Mm-hmm.
and I build upon I sometimes I even build upon the paranormal evidence, building my own story.
Well, Phil, I want to thank you for taking time to be with us tonight. It's been a blast. And, of course, we want you to stay on until after we're off, and we'll talk with you. But
Yes, sir.
since our time is running right on down, what we're going to do is give you a chance to give out all your websites and how to contact you, and because there's people that's already been asking that. So why don't you give all that stuff out?
Okay, I'm on Facebook, all over Facebook. You could find me on the Paranormal Hot Squad page, of course. You can find me on my own personal page, Phil Summers Paranormal, actually official Phil Summers Paranormal Investigator, philsummersofficial.com. Twitter, just look up my name, Phil_Summers, and I'm all over the place. If you want to contact me, just hit me up. You can find me on my new radio show, Not Your Everyday Average Paranormal Radio Show, with first guest that is going to be on there. Scott Groomwald is going to be poking some fun with me on that show.
Say hi from me. He knows me.
Jeff Gal, or Jeff, what's your last name?
Jeffrey Gould.
But
Gould.
If you say Badger, he'll probably know me.
I'm totally going to say hi for you. Or anybody else that says say hi for me, I will say hi. I will do that to my show, with my show, send shout outs and stuff like that.
So,
when does your show start, and where
yeah.
will we be able to listen to it?
June 27th on www.ghtalkradio.com.
Yay!
And what time?
Oh,
At what time?
Yeah,
9 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
9
Okay.
o'clock.
I totally forgot
Which
that.
night of the week?
That's
Wednesday.
a Wednesday.
Wednesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Man, see, y'all make me think of all this information that I forgot.
Well, people has to know, or they can't tune in to listen.
I've got so much stuff going on. You guys are gonna, after this summer and fall and next year, you're gonna be. Wow, this kid.
We're gonna be
going
glad we
everywhere.
got you when we could.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna be unreachable. I'm gonna be unreachable here for next
I
while.
guess that's better than
Yeah.
being untouchable, I guess.
But Jeffrey,
Yeah, untouchable.
you need to quickly give our stuff out.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, my website is jeffgould.net, GEOFFGOULD.net. If you add /2011 PNV.htm, that's my Paranormal View hub, which goes to all of the reports that I've written on the shows we've done the past year and a half now. And for all your Paranormal View attire, go to cafepress.com/realbadgershop, all one word. Our official website is theparanormalview.com. You can find us at Facebook. Just do a quick search for The Paranormal View. There we are. I'm at Facebook, as is Henry and Kat. In my case, just add Jeffrey.Gould. That's GEOFFRAY.GOULD. And if you look up Jeffrey Gould Career Progress Group, feel free to join. It's a little sort of a fan club, but it's more like, here's what I've been doing acting-wise.
Cool.
Very good. Kat?
Awesome.
You can find me at www.huntforghosts.com. That is my official blog, I guess you can say. I usually talk about all sorts of different topics and have lots and lots of photos and videos. I am working on my own internet show, the Urban Legends Tour, and I am still working on zombies. So if anyone has anything to contribute to that, you can email me at catgloco@gmail.com.
All right.
Send her your dead relatives.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, send me your dead relatives, the Walking Dead. I'll be sure to have some brains ready for them.
And, of course, you've got our one and only theparanormalview.com. That's our official .com website. There's information on there about our shows, upcoming shows, and you can also go there and also listen to podcasts from our shows. So on Jeffrey's page, there should also be links to our podcast there also. So with that, it's about time for us to run. Like I said, next week we're going to be at the Bell Nursing Home in Kim Bolton, Ohio. They still have tickets available. I believe they're $25 each. If you'd like to go, you can send me an email, and I'll tell you how to get a hold of them if you can't get on and find the nursing home, Kim Bolton, Ohio. So with that, this is Henry Foister.
Jeffrey Gould. Sorry.
And Cat Cloco.
And we will see you guys next week at the same time, 8 o'clock. Till then, good night, everybody.
Good night.
We're leaving. We're gone. Paranormal View. Come back and visit us again if you dare. You've been listening to the Paranormal View on the Para-X Radio Network. The Paranormal View.